Do you know who Miyamoto Musashi is? If you don't know, let me tell you something about him. He was a samurai. When he was 13 years old, he defeated an experienced samurai in a duel to death match, and that was only the beginning. Musashi fought in 62 duels throughout his life and never lost a single one. And it's not like he was dueling random people. He was taking one of the best samurais and sword master of his time. Let's dive into the life and teachings of this legendary warrior and see what we can learn from his unparalleled discipline and strategy. Look within for everything you need. There is no doubt that Miyamoto Musashi was one of the greatest samurais in history. His incredible skill with a sword weren't just because of natural talent, but because of his strong discipline. Musashi wrote that it was his discipline that led him to greatness. He fought his first duel when he was just 13 years old and won. After that, he stayed undefeated in over 62 duels. Even today, this record is one of the most amazing achievements in history. Musashi was not only the best samurai in Japan, but he was also an artist and a thinker. His life shows us how important self-discipline is. Without it, we are like ships without rudder, easily pushed around by our impulses and desire. Musashi believed that self-discipline was more than just a way to achieve success. It was also a shield against suffering. When we are disciplined, we can handle life challenges and surpass better. Embrace things as they are. Musashi's life as a samurai was full of uncertainties, from the result of duels to unpredictable nature of his lifestyle. For him, acceptance was not just something passive, but a form of discipline. It meant recognizing the reality of each moment, whether it was a dangerous duel or a calm day of writing. This idea isn't just for samurais in life or death situation. It's a principle we can apply to our daily challenges. For example, imagine you are preparing an important presentation for work and suddenly your computer crashes, losing all your work. Many of us might immediately think, why this is happening to me, or get angry and curse our bad luck, which only makes things worse. But Musashi suggests that instead of seeing the situation as a bad and getting frustrated, a disciplined person sees it for what it is. The computer crashed and the work need to be redone. Then you focus on a solution like recovering any possible files or starting the presentation again and informing your boss about the delay. Musashi also gives us an important lesson on how we view events, warning us not to label them as good or bad. He believes these labels are not qualities for the events themselves but rather thoughts we impose on them. So, when we have a disciplined mindset, we free ourselves from these limiting judgments. Do not dwell on past actions. Guilt can be a helpful feeling. It's like a signal that tells us when we have done something wrong. If you say something rude and hurt someone feeling guilty is natural and can be constructive. It shows you care about your action and gives a chance to correct yourself. Many people mix up guilt and regret, but they are different. Guilt is an emotional response that helps us change our behavior in the future. Regret, however, is a mental state that doesn't help us. It's like a cloud that hangs over our thoughts, taking up space and making it harder to stay disciplined. Miyamoto Musashi didn't have time to dwell on regret. He had to stay focused on the present and on what would keep him alive. That's why he stressed the importance of clear mind of making good decisions, which regret can mess up. To stay disciplined, it's important to keep our minds free from distraction. Regret is one such distraction. Whether you have lost money on a bad investment or stayed up all night playing video games and missed an important class or meeting, regret won't feel you fix the situation. Instead of getting stuck in regret, which can make you feel helpless, focus on taking steps to fix the problem. It's okay to make mistakes and learn from them. What's not okay is to let those mistakes turn into a pit of regret. We should aim to learn, improve, and move forward. Remain unattached to your place of residence. For Musashi, where he was didn't matter as much as the discipline and the mindset he had. Whether he was in a quiet temple or a chaotic battlefield, his inner state stayed steady. Many people think that moving to a new place will solve all the problems and make them happy. But Musashi challenges this idea and wants us to understand that true contentment comes from within. Happiness is an internal state of mind. A new place might make you feel better temporarily, but if you are not truly content or aligned with your life purpose, that happiness will fade. You will end up feeling the same as before. This idea is similar to Confucius saying, no matter where you go, there you are. Musashi also teaches us to be ready for life unpredictability. If we are working on self-improvement or trying to master a skill, we might find ourselves in unexpected places. We could move to a different country, adapt to a new way of life, or learn to navigate unfamiliar cultures. These changes test our mental and emotional strength. So instead of focusing on where we are, Musashi suggests we should think about how we are. We are adaptable, resilient, and committed to our goals. This quality will help us succeed no matter where life takes us. Master one thing to understand many. In today's world, we have so many career paths and options that it can be overwhelming. It's normal to be interested in many things like sports, computer, or art, which can lead us to try out different fields. Having various interests isn't bad, but it can sometimes lead to what's called the shiny objective syndrome, where people jump from one new trend to another, abandoning each one quickly. Musashi took a different approach. He focused his life on mastering the art of the sword, training tirelessly every day, but it's easy to forget he was also a skilled artist, throughout philosopher, and a master strategist. This shows that focusing on mastering one thing doesn't mean you can't pursue other interests. It's highlights the importance of dedicating your full time and attention to mastering one skill at a time. By doing this, you learn one way thoroughly. By deeply learning a skill, you start to see patterns that can help you learn other skills too. Musashi's strategies was based on the patterns he noticed from dueling his opponents, which he then applied on larger scale. In today's world, this idea is similar to resilience we develop by learning to be adaptable. It's the ability to learn. If you know how to study for one exam, you can study for others. If you know how to adapt in a workplace, you can handle any task you are given. But it all starts with learning one way first, so you can later learn many things.